Happy Tuesday, 5th graders. Today is Tuesday, January 5th, and I hope that your first week back of the new year is going well. We're going to get started right away with some poetry. Now, your classroom teacher had you read the same poem from yesterday, but I found a different poem just because the activity going with the other one was a little difficult. So we have The Winter Surprise. That is our poem. We're still going to work on the same scales, just with a different poem. I'm going to read this poem, and then we are going to answer some questions. We built a big snowman, then went in for the night to sip some hot cocoa by the warm firelight. A little bit later, noises came through the door. They were loud and spooky. They went, "Snorty, snort, snore." "That sounds like a monster," my little brother cried. I tiptoed to the door. My family watched wide-eyed. "Snorty, snore, snorty, snore." The sounds bellowed and boomed. I jumped backwards 3 feet, feeling sure we were doomed. But then, really quickly, it was quiet once more. I regained my courage and pulled open the door. I heard gasps, felt cold air, and blinked both my eyes. Our snowman was snoring. What a winter surprise. Weird story. Weird poem. Okay. Flip over for the questions. Help if I turn it the correct direction. What do you think? Maybe? Okay. Number 1. The first stanza of the poem, which 2 words rhyme with bright? So if we look back, rhyme with bright. So they have that same sound at the end. And we're going to look at the last words. Bright snowman, bright night, bright cocoa, bright light. Which ones sound like bright? I hope you said night and firelight. So you're going to write them on the lines. Pause here, hit play when you're ready to move on. Number 2, how does the narrator describe the noises coming from outside? Does he say they're wacky and weird, loud and spooky, silly and strange, or D, friendly and cheerful? I'm not going to tell you the exact answer, but I'm going to tell you that it is in the second stanza. Right there. Number 2 is in that second one. So look for the words. You need to look back and reference it. I can't give you all the answers. Alliteration is a repetition of consonant sounds, such as the following example. Bouncing, baby, bunnies. They all start with that B sound. Choose an example of alliteration from the poem and write it here. So where do we see an alliteration where there's more than one, where there's the same letter in a row? I'm going to go with snorty, snort, snore. Because they all start with that S. Four, how does the narrator feel when he hears the noises? Is he A, afraid, B, annoyed, C, curious, or D, happy? So, how do you think they feel based on some of these words in here? Like feeling that they were doomed, jump backwards 3 feet. How do you think they felt? And then what was the surprise at the end of the poem? Well, the snowman was snoring. Pause it here to write whatever you need to write, and then hit play when you're ready to move on. Our last task for reading and writing today is our daily fix-it. We've done these before. I will do a couple with you and then just read the rest to you. So, Marge liked to read adventure stories. Well, it should be Marge likes to read, and then adventure is spelled wrong. Adventure. She readed a book set in Spain. Spain is a location. What do you think? I think I kind of gave it away. You don't need this ED on here. She read a book set in Spain. There's one more. We're missing a capital somewhere. Where do you think? Yep, Spain needs to be capitalized. Number 3. Mr. Jones is an expert on Native American history. Oh, Mr. Jones is a expert on Native American history. This one, when you have the letter A before a word, if the word starts with a vowel, which this one does, this actually needs to be an. Okay. And then Native American is a name of a group of people, so it is their name, so Native American would need to be capitalized. 4. He gived a talk about Cherokee to our class. Well, oh, him gived, oh geez. He gave a talk about Cherokee to our class. That was rough. 5. If you go to South Dakota, you should see the Badlands. First of all, do they need to be 2 separate sentences, or should they just be one? They should just be one. Okay? And then South Dakota is a name, so what do we need on South? Capital. 6. They look like a Sen from another planet. Scene, I think it's just what they want to say, but well, they is spelled wrong, and so is seen. Seven. Natives on the coast hunted and fished at sea. I think what they mean is coast, and we don't need this comma. 8. They live near the water because it was their source of food? Once again, do we need 2 separate sentences? No. So get rid of this, get rid of that. And then does this need to be a question? No. 9. After white settlers took their land, many Native Americans lived on reservations. We have the wrong there. And we're missing a comma somewhere. Do you think you know where the comma goes? Right here. And 10, with little land, it was difficult to hunt with bow and arrow. This is 2 spelling issues. Do you know which words are spelled wrong? Difficult and arrow. Okay. That is your last sheet for reading and writing today. Ooh, whoa. If you're needing more help, once again, just let me know, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.